Nobody listens. People speak over you. Your team members get invited for speaking gigs to present their areas of expertise and the innovations that they're making, representing your own company, and you don't get invited. When you try to speak at home, try to express yourself at home, they invalidate you, sometimes laugh at you, sometimes mock you. Your children go to your spouse to solve the hard problems of life. They come to you for fun, but for the hard problems of life, they go to your spouse. And you're seeing a pattern and you're wondering what's going on. You're the one with the ideas, you're the one with the best interests of other people at heart. You're the one who's been doing a lot of heavyweight lifting. And yet, people don't trust you. And you wonder if it's you or it's them. The bad news in most cases is they can sense your self-doubt. They can tell that you're not confident inside for what you're presenting on the outside. Hello and welcome everyone. I am Namita Purohit. I'm a leadership and life coach, and today we're going to talk about the secret to unshakable confidence in leadership and at the workplace and at home. And I'm going to share a story of a client. I'm going to share the solution that we worked on, and I'm going to share how you can implement that in your life today. This podcast, this live, is sponsored by my 8-week self-love coaching program for high achievers who feel disconnected on the inside and who want to feel whole and live from aligned power on the outside. So that's there for you, and we're going to have more information. But for those of you who want to check it out, the link is in the description below, and you can also get to know more about it through the QR code and also enroll yourself. And I'm going to let you into a story of a client of mine who felt very unseen everywhere, even in her own company, the company that she had co-founded. Feeling unseen, feeling not heard. Her ideas didn't travel the room, didn't travel beyond the room. Her team members did not invite her, her own team members, her own company did not invite her for some very key, crucial meetings. Things she said, people didn't follow through. And at home, she was laughed at by her husband and kids. And she was called very basic because that's what she's told me, is that her husband and her adult children are super smart. And she felt very basic in front of them. So then whenever she tried to join in the conversation and talk about the things that they were talking about, they like, she felt sidelined throughout. And they kind of also like treated her sometimes. She felt that it was, oh, you don't know what you're talking about and things like that. Right. So she felt very unintelligent all the time. And she also internally felt that she was not good enough. And she was always doing her best to be the best, to be seen, to be heard. She was overworking. She was overdoing things, being overly responsible. But yet, this was the treatment she got at home and in the workplace. And she was wondering, what can she do about it? Like, it wasn't strategy. It wasn't lack of strategy. Super smart woman. It wasn't communication. She had a communication coach that she had worked with who had helped her, formulate her ideas and share those in a coherent way, in a concise way, with proper voice modulation and all of that. Now, it wasn't all of these things. It wasn't these externals, but what was lacking was her inner confidence. And years of feeling dismissed at home and years of feeling that she wasn't good enough, she had trained herself to shrink. So even when she was expressing the smartest of things and she was expressing the most logical things, she was internally second guessing herself. And because she was second guessing herself, even before anyone else did, it showed. It showed in her energy, it showed in her voice projection, it showed in how much she pursued that idea when she was talking about it. And it also showed in her executive presence at work and her executive presence at home too, the gravitas that she carried. And it's natural for people who are in teams or who are in family People are looking to be led, a lot of them. For that role that you perform, they're looking for you to show up as a leader and they're looking to be led. Now, when they can sense your self doubt, and it's very easy to sense that with all the non-verbal cues that one gives out when they doubt themselves, and also how they carry themselves and how they carry further on in a conversation. Uh, people can tell. Now, when they sense somebody who has a lot of self doubt, who's second guessing themselves, who's shutting down ideas in their head even before they've been verbalized, vocalized, tested out, things like that, who has a nervous energy around them, people naturally start straying away from this person. Not because they hate you, not because they're judging you, but they're looking for their own psychological safety, whether it's in the company or in the work or at home. And when that happens, you start feeling as a leader what's going on, as this client of mine was feeling. And and what was really missing in her and in a lot of us is self-love. And it's not the surface level kind of self love that says that I'm good, let me dress myself up, let me look good, or let me project my voice, or let me do this, and I'm the best, I'm the most important. We're not talking about narcissism, we're not talking about hedonism. We're talking about this kind of self love that says that I'm good even if I fail. We're talking about the kind of self love that says that even if people don't see me, I see myself, and God sees me for who I am. And that's where a lot of our confidence stems from. I value myself for the areas of expertise that I have, right? She felt not so smart in front of her own highly intelligent adult children who were doing really magnificently well in their careers. She didn't feel confident in front of her husband. She didn't feel confident in front of all the smart people in the company that she had co founded. But you can't be an expert in other people's areas. Your confidence comes from being an expert in your area. So I value myself for my areas of expertise. And I'm not looking for approval here. I give it to myself. And I'm happy to learn. So even if I make mistakes, I'm still good enough and I'm going to learn from them. And to be able to hold yourself together and to be able to be confident in yourself, a lot of that self confidence, a lot of that unshakable confidence as a leader comes from the right kind of self love. And as we started working with her on that, a lot of things started shifting for her. Um, where, where missed that slide looks like today. Anyway, a lot of things started shifting for her. Her ideas started traveling through the room. People started including her in meetings. Her family wasn't dismissive of her in those family conversations because she wasn't trying to participate in what they were saying. She was a good listener in what they were saying, but then she was also presenting her ideas and her areas of expertise and her areas of excitement. Um, by giving herself a lot of value, she was expressing that with a lot of grace and a lot of confidence. And then, she got the ear of those people in the room and of her own family. And that's what traveled in the workplace as well. When she went for these networking events and she traveled across the globe, she was also invited to be as a speaker for her, subject matter for her company, for her area of expertise. Earlier, it was her team members who were being invited, but now she was also getting invited for those things. And a lot changed in her life, not just in her leadership, but also at home and how she was feeling and how she was excited about her future. And this brings me to a story of from the Eastern Vedic scriptures, Hindu scriptures, which is of Dhruva, the story of a 5-year-old prince, Dhruva, who was mistreated by his father and his stepmother. And like he was trying to get on the lap of his father. And as he was trying to do that, because he saw his stepbrother, younger stepbrother, sitting on his father's lap, and he, 5-year-old boy, also wanted to sit on his father's lap. But his stepmother said that he can't do that because he's not born from her. And she is the chosen queen, and she's the queen that the king likes. And the only way he can get on his dad's lap is when he takes birth from her womb, and then that's only when he gets a chance. So he's very upset with his mom, but he's even more upset with his dad for not doing anything, for not being that leader, for not being that protector, for not being the father in that moment. And this 5-year-old boy, extremely angry, extremely hurt, runs to his mother, who calms him down, gives him some guidance. And then he decides that, no, I'm going to get a kingdom greater than my grandfather. I'm going to show it to them. And then, then I'll have the respect, right? So then he walks to the forest and he meditates, because his mother says that the only way, if it's best to take shelter of the Lord in this moment. So then when he goes to the forest and he meditates, then the transcendental spaceman, the transcendental guru, Narada, as you can see in this picture, he sees him and he tries to dissuade him from what he's doing, because it's hard for a 5-year-old to be in a forest, to do meditation, to do all those austerities and things like that. And he says that, oh, it's your time, it's the age for you to play and enjoy. It's not like for a 5-year-old boy to get so upset and do this. And you shouldn't do this. You should, learn how to be with people, relate to people. And he tries to help him, dissuade him from that. Now, a 5-year-old boy could lose his confidence in front of someone who's a transcendental sage, who's a spaceman sage, who's traveling across the different worlds, across the different universes. And he could lose his confidence and he could say that, oh, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, maybe I should go home. There could be, that confusing moment. But he's super clear. He's like, yes, what you're saying is true, but I'm not able to follow what you're saying. And that's my level right now. So I need to do what I need to do. So then when Narad Muni sees that he's trying to dissuade him, but this 5-year-old boy is, unshakable in his confidence and, his determination of what he wants to do, Narad Muni gives in, and actually Narad Muni then gives him a path on how to meditate and how to achieve that he wants to achieve. And then Dhruva goes and does that, and then he becomes successful. And then and so on. That's how the story progresses. Now in this story, what is of consequences is that there was unshakable confidence, because there was a lot of clarity that came from a space of honoring one's own needs and feelings. Yes, so Dhruva was honoring his needs and feelings, and when he showed up with that self-love of honoring his needs and feelings, that made him very confident about what he wanted to do, and that attracted help also to come his way. So similarly, in my client's story, when she started valuing herself, loving herself, honoring herself in the very special ways that she needed to, right? Self-love is a very, it's a lot of things that come into it, and we have to look at our individual aspects and work on them. Now, when she started doing that, she started attracting a lot of success also. Now, people respect what you embody. And if you respect yourself, if you love yourself, if you're partnered with yourself, they will respect you, they will love you, they will want to partner with you, right? So people are looking for someone who's solid in their own selves, who's not looking for validation, who's not looking for emotional care and support and things like that. Now, when you love yourself and you embody that, you speak without shrinking. You set boundaries without guilt. You stop over-explaining yourself in meetings. You stop chasing validation in your life, and that really helps you build your executive presence when you're not chasing validation and you're confident. Even when you don't know things, you're happy to learn. Your confidence is not shaken just because you don't know something, right? And you show up grounded. You don't show up performative. A lot of people without that self-love, because they're looking for something external, they're very performative. But a person with a very strong self-loving core and a self-partnered core shows up very grounded. So self-love is what anchors you, anchors your presence, gives you that gravitas, and gives you that confidence. And it helps you earn respect very silently. And it helps you earn followers also in your team. Yes? So the first step that you can take if you are looking to build yourself and build your leadership is I invite you to join my 8-week self-love coaching program. You have the link in the description, and you also have the QR code right here. And for those of you who are also trying to build your power in yourself, I also have the personal power bracelet, which will help you build your inner resilience. It'll help you work on your solar plexus chakras, and it'll help you um, shift some of the energies while you're working on your mindset in the self-love course. And this will also accelerate your journey. So I also invite you to get this bracelet, which is personally designed by me, with handpicked stones and proportions to really help you in your journey. And 2 people who bought this reported that one of them got promoted, The other one, uh, sense of command, works for the armed forces, and a lot of shifts that he's experienced in how he's helping others. So I invite you to join the self love program and get this personal power bracelet, because this self love is going to really transform how you treat yourself, how you work with yourself, the company that you give to yourself, the thoughts that you feed to yourself, the thoughts that you entertain in yourself. And that's going to have a complete transformation in your persona and in how you show up and in your executive presence. And that's going to have a major impact in how people relate to you. So I look forward to seeing you inside. And this is Namita Purohit signing off. I like to make different videos on helping people build their leadership and life from the inside out, to help you achieve your leadership and life goals with strengthening yourself from the inside out. And I base my coaching programs, one on one, group, and courses on Eastern wisdom and Western psychology. And I look forward to serving many of you on the inside. Thank you and bye bye. And stay tuned. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel from wherever you're watching. And for my videos every week and my reels every week as I get a chance to post them. And it gives me an opportunity to serve you, and it gives me an opportunity to stay connected with you. So I also request you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications icon to turn on the notifications so that you get notified next time I have a video live. Looking forward to staying connected and looking forward to seeing you inside the self-love course so that you can navigate your life and your leadership with ease. See you and bye-bye.